Welcome to another installment on my Mr. Pandaria guides. We're currently on the 4th day of release, and things are ramping up nicely as the server issues are decreasing and more people are getting to the upper levels. I've had quite a bit of time in game and learned several things after the leveling experience. So in this video, I want to share tips and some guidance on what you should be doing once you hit level 90. Let's start off by talking a bit about a common perception and what most people have probably already heard. So once we hit level 90, most people will be inclined to farm reputation by doing a crazy amount of dailies. Simply put, I do not agree that this is a good idea for the casual players. My goal is to give an alternate solution to what you should be doing at level 90 if you have limited time on your hands. The reason to why people are grinding reputations early on is that so they can purchase gear for their hard-earned valor points. Each faction unlocks different gear pieces at specific standings, with most notable rewards being at Honored and Revered. There are also some other aspects of reputation rewards, such as mounts and recipes, but those will not really be covered in this video. There's also a wide incentive to do some heroic dungeons for 463 eye level gear and professions for crafting purposes, such as the 476 engineering goggles. While all of this might sound simple enough, many people are stressed out by having to do many dailies and feel pressured into spending several hours per day grinding reputations to stay relevant gear-wise. But why is that so? I have a different take on what you should be doing, which might be better suited for casual players which cannot spend several hours per day doing dailies. In order to get my point across, I want us to take a look at the timeline of content release in the near future and relate aspects such as reputation and valor caps to these dates. This will be focusing on PvE content, so PvE enjoyers, you have to find another video unfortunately. So, we'll gain access to the challenge modes on the 29th of July as per the recent blue posts, and the raids on the 1st of August, leaving us little less than a week to prepare all our gear. In addition, we see the introduction of Celestial Dungeons on the 13th of August, just 2 weeks after Mogashan Vaults is released. So how does this affect us? Simply put, we're interested in getting as good gear as possible for these PvE releases, meaning that we want good gear in place for 1st of August. Once Celestial Dungeons come out on the 13th, most of us will replace all our gear for the farmable Celestial gear, which is going to be 476 item level. Realistically, the main reason for us grinding gear at this point is to get us through the first 2 weeks of Mogashan Vaults and Challenge Mode dungeons, after which we'll simply farm dungeons again to get the new baseline of minimum 476 item level. The effect that Celestials have is that it devalues a lot of the time that we put into our grinds early on. The exception will of course be the Valor gear, which we gain access to from grinding Reputation, which is 489 item level. But how much rep can we actually get until these dates? Generally, for reputations, we're going to need 6k rep to get from Friendly to Honored, and another 12k rep to get from Honored to Revered. When we do our dailies, we're able to accumulate slightly more than 1k rep per day, which gives us a rough estimate of when we'll be able to access all tiers of reputation-bound Valor gear. Let's look at each faction separately. After you do all the Shadowpan related quests, you'll get to somewhere around an Honored standing, and you'll get approximately 1300 rep per day, so getting to Revered will take roughly 9 days. The reward from this faction are going to be a back and trinket on Honored, and then a headpiece on Revered. The Golden Lotus will get you to a neutral standing with approximately 3k rep missing until Friendly. You unlock more dailies when you reach Friendly and Honored respectively, and you'll start off with around 1k rep per day, but it ranges up towards 2k per day once you're Honored. So getting to Honored will take roughly a week and Revered within another week. The rewards from this faction are a ring and shoulder at Honored and chest at Revered. The August Celestials will get you to a Friendly standing, and the dailies give roughly 1.2k per day, meaning that you need 5 days of dailies to get to Honored and another 10 to get to Revered. The rewards from this faction are wrists and hands at Honored and feet at Revered. The Klaxi will get you to just above Honored from the quest line, and you'll get roughly 1.1k rep per day, needing 12 days to get to Revered. The rewards from this faction are necklace and waist at Honored and legs at Revered. Added to the timeline, we can now see the valor point cap, which will be prevalent along with the other releases. So we can see that for the second reset, where we see challenge modes and Mogashan Vaults, we'll have a cap of 3200 valor points, and then 6400 valor points before the release of Celestials. You can easily do the math with the numbers shown on screen to see how many items you're able to get before the release of Celestials or the raids to see where you get most benefit. My recommendation is to get 2 Valor rewards from the Honored standings, since this gives most immediate value and it puts you in the best position before the challenge modes and the raids release. In total, if you've been off to an early start getting early level 90, or if you're planning for the long term, you'll be able to get 3 pieces. However, this will require you to get revered in several factions or just the one that you're looking for, and this will be a heavy time commitment in comparison to the Honored rewards. Putting this into perspective, this will mean that a single item slot goes from 476 to 489 for 2 weeks worth of effort, since we're only going to get the revere rewards close to the Celestial release. For many players, this is a fun aspect of the game and it's going to be worth their time investment. However, I do not think that this is the best use of your time at level 90, especially if you do not have a lot of hours to play on a daily basis. If you're more of a casual player, what should you instead do with your time to get ready for challenge modes and Mogashan Vaults? I would strongly recommend that you get your professions up, especially to get engineering goggles, and then to do the Dreadwaste main questline for Klaxi Honored, and to spend a few days to get either Shadowpan, August Celestials, or Golden Lotus to Honored for your second Valor piece. Everything beyond this point is a luxury, and the value of items gained per hour invested drops off drastically. Once that's done, I would allocate all my time into getting full heroic dungeon gear so that your item level gets to at least 463 for the launch of challenge modes and Mogashan Vaults. You can definitely clear the available content with the heroic dungeon gear, and it will take quite some time to fill out your slots. Going from quest gear at 450 to 463 on all slots will be much more beneficial for you rather than min-maxing a few slots to 489, which is bottlenecked by daily reputation rewards and valor caps on weekly rotation. I'm not saying that you should not do your dailies if you have the time for it. Instead, I'm trying to give an alternative perspective to the common misconception that you need to do a bunch of dailies to find success at level 90. We all play the game for different reasons and at different capacities, so you should find a balance that suits you. If you have limited time on a daily basis, you should focus on reaching level 90, getting full heroic dungeon gear, leveling your professions to max if it benefits your gearing journey, and then doing some dailies to reach 2 Valor items. I would recommend that you do the Dreadwaste main story quests to get Klaxi to Honored, so you don't need to do any dailies in that region. It also gives you a great 489 neck piece, and after that, Shadowpan will be a very easy reputation to get Honored to. From the main quests, you're gonna get very close to Honored, if not Honored itself. You're gonna be able to buy trinkets or cloaks, which are also great value for all classes with very little time investment required. If you have plenty of time, then you should start looking towards the rewards which you gain at Revered Reputation, such that you can get your items for later Valor caps and min-max the value which you gain over the span of 3 weeks from now, rather than just looking at the launch dates. And that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope you find some guidance in what you should be doing at level 90. If it gave you a helpful perspective on the gearing journey, or if you have anything you disagree with, please let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more MoP content. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.